Have you ever wondered how much you can improve in 3D modeling over 4 years? Well, today we're about to find out, because I am remaking my very first render in Blender. This courtroom was my first official render in Blender. And no, I don't like to count the donut.
I will send you to Jesus.
When I say first render, I mean the first scene that you tried to make by yourself without a tutorial. I attempted to make this courtroom using the modeling skills I had learned up until that point. And spoiler alert, it didn't turn out too good.
I mean, it's alright, like...
I didn't even bother shading the ends of the bench here, nor did I turn on any of these settings in Eevee to make the render look any better. Not like it would have helped, but still. In terms of 3D modeling skills, I would say I am still at an intermediate level. I never really tried to truly specialize in 3D modeling because I was more interested in the animation aspect of 3D. But for this challenge, I'm gonna try and model this entire scene using this picture as a reference. Here we go. I started off modeling the wooden benches you typically see in courtrooms. These benches are for the public when someone wants to come in and watch a court case unfold live in front of their eyes. It was pretty easy to model, just using the cube, insetting, extruding, and beveling. Things I clearly didn't do 4 years ago. Then I just duplicated them using Alt-D and arranged them in 2 rows. Next, I modeled the barriers that keep the public from entering the actual court. You know, where the lawyers battle it out.
My dog stepped on a bee.
Again, just using the basic default cube, extruding, insetting, and beveling. By the way, I'm only going off this picture right here as a reference. Moving along, I modeled the tables, using loop cuts where necessary and deleting faces to get the shapes I wanted. Then I modeled those judge panels. I think that's what you call them. You know, where the judge sits, or in this case, where the judges sit, because there are 3 panels. Using the good old default cube. Extruding, insetting, extruding, insetting, extruding, insetting, extruding, insetting, extruding. For the columns, I use the same method. Extruding, scaling, loop.
Stop it.
Then I modeled those 2 giant doors in the back. These were a little harder to do, but for the framing part, I knew this was completely wrong, but I used this technique here to make the frame around the doors. Oh, and a huge time saver tip, using the mirror modifier so you only have to model 1/2 of the object. I used that for a lot of the objects in this render. For the walls, I tried adding windows using the Boolean modifier, which ended up messing up the geometry of the building, but that's the price you gotta pay because I needed some sunlight inside this building. You'll see later on. Can't forget about the podium. I still need to model the chandelier lights. To arrange these lights in a circle, I used the curve circle and array modifier to arrange all the lights in a circular chandelier shape, like you see in the reference pic. I added an emission node setup for the balls so they would light up the room a bit. I don't know what you call these things on the wall, but I modeled them. Very easy to do. I used the subdivision surface modifier and then the array modifier to stack them on top of each other. Okay, here's what I have so far. Now it's time to really bring the scene to life. How? By texturing and shading. I'm gonna use textures from Blender Kit, a lifesaver of an add-on. Having all the textures I need conveniently in Blender, and adding them into the scene is as simple as dragging them on top of my object and boom. Boom! It's textured. Okay, well, not all the time. Most of the textures I used were wood textures. Occasionally, I would use these rusty metal textures for small items like the clock. Speaking of the clock. Okay, we're not mentioning the clock.
Oh my god! Even though they're from... Oh my god!
For the paintings, I went on meta.ai and generated some art paintings. I just typed in judge sitting in court or female judge sitting in court. Then I downloaded the images and pasted them on the wall as image textures. I used a similar technique for making the emblem thingy. I also modeled the small objects, like the computer monitors, to populate my scene a little more. With a few more final touches added to the scene, here is my first render recreated in 2024. I'd say it turned out pretty decent. Can't say the same for the outside of the building.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no.
But hey, the inside of the building is the only thing I cared about. And it's quite a difference when I compare it to the old version. I would say I have definitely improved as a 3D artist over the past 4 years. So the question is, have my 3D modeling skills improved over the past 4 years? And the answer is yes, a little.
That's what she said.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to see more 3D related content on this channel. Until next time, it's been your boy RJ. Peace.